Man, I fucked that one. Oh, I'm sorry. But that was a cool promo there at the beginning.
Near the beginning. I'm excited that Crawl of Cthulhu is coming out. I don't know about you, but I don't know. Have
Hey.
you gotten a sneak peek at what Crawl of Cthulhu is yet?
I've just looked at the art, honestly. I've been waiting for permission to dig into some of the actual mechanics of it or what it contains. But I'm pumped, man. Cthulhu and babies, that's going to be fun.
I can't say anything about it. All I can say is it's funny. The adventure is great. I'm really excited to get some Crawl of Cthulhu.
And it's coming up here this fall. It's going to be perfect for the Halloween season. So
yeah, we're gonna run another season of Babies and Broadswords, and it's gonna be all Crawl related. So there's gonna be new characters, new classes, new abilities, and new mechanics. It's very exciting.
now I do have an honest question about this with the new Crawl season on the podcast. That's not going to be following the adventure in the book, is it?
No, it is not. You're gonna get there's no spoilers for the book whatsoever.
Okay.
It's going to just be in the same setting with the same kind of thought process, the same kind of mechanics. We're going to showcase some of that stuff, some of the new stuff you'll get with that book. We'll just give you kind of a glimpse at what you can do at home.
Okay. And I would like to say I'm Mike, or NPC Mike in the Discord, at Even Footing Games. I'm one of the new guys, and
I'm Jimmy St. James. I'm system tech, system design development, and I wear a couple of hats here. I'm a resident chill guy. We were talking about I'm just the chill guy. If you need to chill, I'm chill. That's what I do.
And it's a handy thing for any kind of a conglomerate of people getting together. We need the chill guy to make sure everybody's just nice and calm and cool and collected.
Yeah. If anybody, I don't know who needs to hear this, but tomorrow it probably won't be that important. So
yeah,
don't worry about it.
So, we would implore you to go to evenfootinggames.com. We make ttrpgs that people get a kick out of. Currently, our flagship, I suppose you would say, is Babies and Broadswords. Tell us a little bit about Babies and Broadswords.
Babies and Broadswords is a narrative style D6 based game, a very approachable rule set. It's you just get to go on adventures as a toddler, knowing what you know now. It's wonderful. This is a comedy driven game. It's best when you're having fun and getting laughs. It's great if you want to introduce someone who's never role played before. It's also a lot of fun if you've been playing that grim dark setting for the past 56 weeks and you just need, hey, you know what? Mike didn't show up tonight. What are we going to do? I think it's time to decompress with little Babies and Broadswords.
Yes, decompression for the veteran. But again, I can't say enough. If you got young ones or someone who wants to get involved with imagination, I mean, that's what our TTRPGs are. It's imagination based. The cops and the robbers. Those let us take that into a more with rules realm. I guess it would, and it's a great way to get kids started in it. Or even older people or adults that want to get into it, role playing. It's a good thing, and you 100%. Can find that out. We have physical copies available at Amazon.com as well as the electronic copies. You can find that also at DriveThruRPG. So check that out. Definitely check out Babies and Broadswords. Jim, tell us about some of the podcasts we have out there. I know Jason went out and did something. If you want to tell us a little bit about that.
Jason and I just did an interview with Third Floor Wars, and they have a wonderful podcast where they talk about people and talk with people like us in the gaming community who are making games. I just had a blast talking with this guy. He had a lot of cool cool ideas about games. And then Jason ran a one shot, a live play with them, and that's very entertaining. I recommend going to check that out as well.
And
Really,
that is
it's kind of the fly on the wall for that's a lot of fun.
yeah, and that's thirdfloorwars.com. They got a podcast. Great people. Check them out. Couldn't have recommended them more. Let's see what else we got going on at Even Footing Games.
Well, we had that Magpie thing
Oh
just this
yes,
past
yes.
weekend.
That was what I was segueing into. You this past weekend were able to be in the developer spotlight with Magpie Games. They offered
Yeah,
some developers a little bit of I mean,
FaceTime with
man,
their community.
yes. And well, you were able to get some feedback. So tell us a little bit about first what it was like. How do they have it set up? How did you feel about it? Just
It was really
I'll let you have the
cool.
floor.
So that yeah, I don't know how many people submitted, but I think there were 10 of us who ran games that day, and it was really cool. I had a 4 hour session with four people I'd never met before, and none of us knew each other, and I was definitely nervous, and especially taking a game that's so early in development before we decide what's good for the game and what
Hmm.
does
Hmm.
does and doesn't make it. There was a lot of bloat going on as we needed things for the game in the end, and we knew that. We knew
Hmm.
that we were making this thing a little unwieldy, and it showed. It showed in the character creation process. It was the longest
Yeah.
character creation process I've had to date
So that was
by
one of the
twice
things.
over.
That I was going to ask is what were you looking to accomplish with that? And it seems like you had mentioned that the character creation process was one of the things that you were really wanting to see how people out in the out in the world took to.
Yeah. So we had over 100 characters made, and most of the time it takes anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes one on one with me to make a character. When someone makes it on their own, I find that that time doubles or triples, where it might take someone 35, 45
Hmm.
minutes, give or take.
Hmm.
And since some new things have been added and we've tweaked the system and changed things around after 70 of those characters were made, a lot of those changes were occurring and things were being added. And you made that character sheet. How
Hmm.
many times do we add to that character sheet? Or,
Oh, many times.
yeah. So we knew there was bloat happening, but that was the fatigue on the players that happened there. A
Hmm.
lot didn't really want to test all of these different types of subsystems that were
Hmm.
connected. And I get that. So we ended up running a very simple version of the game,
Hmm.
and I ended up having a great deal of fun for the short time we did get to role play, and I got some amazing
Yeah,
feedback. I
yeah,
mean,
that's what because what we're going to be talking about here in just a little bit is where Jim is transitioning from an alpha kind of test on the Los. I'm going to say it right. Don't help me. Los Demonos. I said it wrong.
demonios,
Demonios. I gotta just stop at demonios. Okay. But
demonios.
yeah, it's transitioning from an alpha stage more to a beta stage, and we'll be getting into that a little bit. But what was the feedback that you were I mean, was it feedback that you were able to use going moving forward?
A lot in the beginning, no. It was all stuff I knew. It was a lot of stuff that I had even mentioned in the beginning. There's a lot of bloat. This might feel a little uncomfortable to play, but I'm used to playing with people who've played all kinds of games.
Hmm.
You know, maybe even dozens of different RPGs,
Yeah.
and I had a feeling that there was more so a specific crowd that was there, a narrative game crowd, or even a Powered by the Apocalypse crowd.
Hmm.
And those games tend to be quite a bit simpler,
Yeah.
and they didn't care for any of the customization. And you know what? I've had a few other players that were like, the character is a lot.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. I'm sorry. Again, I get that. So I couldn't use a lot of that because I know, I
Hmm.
know,
Hmm.
I know that this is half of this is going to be a game. The other half is going to sit on the shelf waiting for other games to adopt those pieces.
Yes. because the system overall, the potential system, as it were, will have a lot of pieces, and these are going to be designed to be plug and play. If I'm understanding everything correctly,
Yeah.
so we're focusing more now on the city of demons side, the demonios
Hey,
side. I'm getting
Los
there.
Demonios, City of Demons. Yeah, we're focusing on that because it's the development
Yeah,
piece. This
yeah, and it's
might be
it's
a
it's a fun
game.
setting, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, it is fun setting to play in. So
I enjoy the heck out of it. It's player created. I can't take all of the credit for it. I mean, I came up with a lot of the finer points, but the whole concept was me spitballing with my players, which I recommend. If you don't do that a lot as a GM in any game that you're doing, you should.
yeah, yeah, that's not just developer stuff, man. That's that's just a handy D&D or GM tool. A little
Yeah.
pro tip: talk to your players and see if they're
If
having fun.
Yeah, and if they are having fun, how can they have more fun? Do they want to play a bigger part in your game setting in what's happening at the table? A lot of times, maybe, maybe not. I find a lot of my players do like to get involved, and it's really cool what we come up with.
Now, and there's another question. I'm going to pop this one on you. We haven't gone through over it a little bit earlier. When it came to play testing, as far as because this spotlight was happened in the Magpie Discord. How do you like? I know what you prefer, Jim. Already, what you're going to say, kind of. But how was it different? Play testing and having to explain new rules and systems via Discord versus in person. Because I know that you've run some playtest in person, quite a few too. Do you think that that was more difficult, or were you able to manage with that, or how did that go? What are your thoughts and feelings?
It was hard because we were complete strangers. Whereas when I'm with my group, and I have a lot of people I play tested Babies and Broadswords with, which is a lot simpler game, and you were one of those people,
Yes, I
and
was.
it was pretty easy because we were all there for the same reason, and we all kind of already were getting behind the product. And Babies, I feel like, was already in a beta stage.
Yeah, yeah, I
I
think
was
so as
playing in
well.
the alpha stage at the tail end of alpha development, and I came in really on that beta stage where we were just massaging the numbers. But that being said, that was all done via Discord,
So
and
okay,
um, this is a lot more. So, and it really made it take a lot longer, a lot longer. There were a couple of people I feel like had read some of the rules and sort of got it, and I don't think everyone did that, and I don't think it was to be expected that everyone
yeah,
was going to be
yeah,
able to
yeah, exactly, yeah.
read a 70-page booklet
Yeah, we're
and
not
with
trying to
no
throw
pictures.
shade on anything. But
No,
I
no.
was just wanting to know like the feel because I know in person games is a lot different than digital running
It
digital.
was it's very different. And we had material to hand around. Like, here's cheat sheets that I've printed
Yeah,
off, and here you can
yeah,
take a look. And then we have several devices open, and it's a lot more casual, and things got done far more quickly in that environment. It
Well,
takes
with being able to have the handouts and stuff, that's for one going to be easy because there's only so much real estate I have on a screen. There's only so many windows tabs I can have open. And it's difficult, and people get lost online sometimes. So, but I'm glad that yeah, overall positive take
oh
from it.
man, I got a lot of positive from it, and a lot of really good stuff that I could use. There's the real positive, is that when we got to the end, and everybody felt pretty good after getting a chance to play, it was a little different scene than in the beginning when it took forever to make characters. So there was a lot more. I see a good game here. Here's what I think needs to be done, and each person had their own take on that,
Gotcha.
which was really cool. And one person decided to stick around and have further conversation with me, which was really cool. A couple of the other players were playing in another game, like moments after
Gotcha.
we finished.
Hmm.
So I feel like they would have stuck around given a chance, but the one player who did stick around really had some wonderful insights, just interesting some stuff that I had thought about but didn't know how to approach. That this person was able to just sort of bridge that gap with me
Hmm.
and came away just enriched from the positivity in the community and the amount of input I got that was very usable in the end. I got two
Okay.
pages of notes out of it, two full pages of
Well, that's
everything from, did you know it says potential on the character sheet? And, and I didn't know. I never looked at it that closely.
I didn't know. I looked at it for days and days and days, and it just kind of blends in. That's why I need somebody to. I usually, before I do anything, I hand it to my wife and I say, "You better look at this and make sure that it's spelled right and it makes sense to normal people, because I
I
don't
think
know."
I was your wife in that situation because you said, make sure everything's spelled right. I remember you saying that. And I
Yeah,
went,
I'm bad at it, man.
I read every word on the page, and potential still made
Well,
it to the final cut.
I will take full credit for that. I am a grown adult. I should know how to spell. But you know what? I got a smartphone and I got spell check. And for some reason, there's not spell check in Photoshop. So I
Well,
blame Adobe. So fuck it. Or script. Sorry. I need a cussing button. So, anyways, that all brings us into what we're here to discuss. Before we get into that, though, I would like to invite everybody to our Discord. I'm going to go ahead and, well, that's the banner. That's not what I was looking for. Where do we got it? Right here. We'll
hey,
get this
the
this
scroller.
ticker. Yes, we'll get the ticker going. Join us on Discord at Even Putting Games. We would love to have you there. It's an easy way to get involved with not only the community as well as find out some of the news of what's coming up, and that will be the first step or one of the steps if you're wanting to get involved in some of the projects we got going on. And that's going to bring us into our discussion here. Let me add it to the screen of Los Demonios,
Oh, you're
the
getting good
city
at
of
it.
demons. I'm gonna start saying it every day, all day. And we're going to be talking about the transition moving from the alpha to the beta.
Okay.
We started kind of signaling at that before, but we do have, or I do have, some questions. Actually, the people want to know, Jim. What in general from the alpha stage did you find out as far as developing a game?
All right. I had 15, maybe 16 play testers in my alpha phase over the course of the 4 months of development in alpha.
Hmm.
And so what I would say we did some surveys recently. I've gotten most of the surveys back in. We're still getting a couple in today, even with a lot of really nice feedback and a lot of stuff that I don't know if I was able to read the room during some of the games, or if we were just all on the same page as we played it. There was a lot of the same feedback coming,
Hmm.
just about almost everything. The things that were good, everyone liked. There was a lot of people that didn't get to interact with certain pieces of the game,
Hmm.
and so that being said, it's which of these abilities attracted you the most is what I think I really learned through alpha, because we since this is a modular game and we have a lot of moving parts, what works best with City of Demons are the very attractive things like skills.
Hmm.
Skills were a little too deep in the alpha phase. I had too many
Hmm.
things attached. I tried a lot with skills. I changed it 3 times and then I
Uh,
added to it after I
hmm.
changed it. So that was trying things out. I was just
Hmm. Hmm.
trying to see what people want to interact with.
And that's again, that's part of the alpha. I mean, you got an idea that you want to run with. What's going to gel, and make it everything flow well. Not slog down combat, not slog down things. What people are interested in playing with. So
Yeah.
that makes perfect sense. Now on this beta, first off, how long did you do the alpha? Just one more time while we got the bullet point up here.
4 months.
4 months. And now this is not saying when it's going to be released, or anything like that. But what are you expecting? This beta session, this beta phase. How long do you imagine that's going to last?
Beta is where we really get down to the nitty gritty and test a lot of abilities against each other. And the system itself won't change a whole lot. So it's going to take me a few weeks to, after all the data I've compiled and the
Mm-hmm.
time I've spent thinking what I might want to do. And there were some aces I held in my back pocket that I knew were home runs that we didn't test because I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to leave room for other things
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
other than people just play the very sexy parts of the game.
Oh yeah.
So
Well,
some
you yeah.
some of that's going to get added in, and a little got added in at the end, like the way that we did the skill tricks. So these skill
Mm-hmm.
tricks are going to stick around as an optional rule.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have several optional rules that I want to beta test all of them in various forms of the game to make sure it still plays the same way,
Mm-hmm.
and that the integrity of the system itself doesn't get compromised when we start piling these, as we call them in babies and broadswords, big kid rules into the mix, because there's going to be several big kid rules that you can play with in City of Demons. So
Gotcha.
I would say the working on the system itself, it's a lot of copy paste and then change things around as I
Mm-hmm.
copy paste. So
Mm-hmm.
that book is going to take me 2 to 3 weeks to compile,
Mm-hmm.
um,
And
the
then
vision that I have.
probably several months worth of actually
Oh,
just refining it down.
6 to 12 months, I would have to guess, and
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's probably going to take longer because my expertise is going to be needed elsewhere. I'm not going to be
Mm-hmm.
able to beta test 3 games a week
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
I did during alpha.
So
So
how comfortable would you be handing out that ability to some of the fellow even footing games people? Just be like, hey, you want to run a beta test? Like, here's
depends
the book.
who it is. No, I once I get the beta version done,
Mm-hmm.
and we go through it a couple of times together, especially if I can go through it with someone at Even Footing Games or whoever wants to try to run it, even if you're a patron and are listening and you want to run this game.
Mm-hmm.
Within the next couple of months, I'm going to have a version that should be hands off for me, and you should be able to take it and run without.
Like public beta testing. Right now, it's invite only. Well, it's still going to be invite only, but invite slash public testing. I don't know, but cool,
It's
cool.
our community testing, we'll call it.
Community testing. That's a good one. So tell us, or kind of let us know, what is getting dropped in. I put dropped in here, but more like shelved because I'm again, the potential system is a lot bigger than just Los Demonos. God damn it!
Man,
Dude,
every time.
every time, Los Demonios.
Demonios.
Man, I got to do my
You gotta
eyebrows.
say it sexy, say it with style.
Los Demonios.
There, yeah, if you try to say it like Antonio Banderas would say it,
Yeah,
then
that's
you're
what I'm
gonna get
saying. I'm gonna get the eyebrow going from now on.
Los Demonios. Sexier the better.
So the potential system is bigger than that. So some of this stuff isn't getting dropped; it's getting shelved for different style games,
Mhm.
different style settings. But let us know some of the things that weren't so gelling with City of Demons.
The crazy part are many of the rules gelled extremely well,
Hmm.
like most of them, and that's maybe the hallmark of a good system. Um, it's starting to work and starting to hum. Is that all the
Hmm.
pieces? None of them seem to be didn't just not working. There was just so much to choose from to
Hmm.
use. So the things that were less attractive are things like boons. You have
Hmm.
cohorts and boons that work very
Hmm.
similarly. They give you hallmarks related to your relationship with
Yeah.
them. And so I think that definitely cohorts are staying to
Hmm.
support the gang feel,
Yeah.
and boons are going to be cut. It takes a big portion of the character sheet. It's an extra paragraph you don't need to read,
Hmm.
and it also takes away from my ability to construct the type of magical items I want to for my system, because if it can just be made as a boon, why have magic items? Whereas other systems may
True.
rely heavily on these
Mm-hmm.
boons instead.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Um,
Gotcha.
Another thing being dropped is aptitudes. We're not dropping them,
Really?
we're making aptitudes are going away. They
Okay.
will
Okay.
become a big kid rule, so an
Mm-hmm.
optional rule that you can choose to add to your character later, not at character creation. There's
Mm-hmm.
going to be even more aptitudes than there were before,
Okay.
and it's going to be just abilities to plug into your character that are different than talents. We're going to rely mostly on talents to get the point across that we wanted to with
Okay.
aptitudes. It was kind of two ways to do something similar,
Gotcha.
and aptitudes are honestly sort of a remnant from babies and broadswords that I believe will work extremely well in other games, as just
Mm-hmm.
not as much this particular game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Another
Gotcha.
thing that's happening is skill sets are getting removed and turned into expertise in your stat. So you can have a instead of having a skill set on your page of mechanics, you're going to apply that somewhere else, like under brains. You're going to have a line that says mechanics, and you know if you're rolling for brains and it has to do with mechanics, it's right
Mechanics.
there next to
Yep.
you. You
Yep.
know that you can roll two dice and choose the better,
Yep. Okay.
and
And
that's how that
that's
works.
okay. That's what I was going to say. I know that my current playtest character had like parkour, so that would move from the skill sets over under the into the physical realm of the character sheet, and it would be right there. Boom,
Yes.
you got it. You
So
can
when you
see
make
it.
an agility check and it's related to parkour, boom, you do it.
Roll two, take the better of the two.
Correct. And the skill tricks are still a big kid rule. So that's going to be something that you can decide for yourself. Do we want to bother with skill tricks, or do we not? And that's going to allow you to use those dice for different things to gain additional effects or more powerful effects.
I do know there's one thing that definitely did change that I am aware of, and that's game changers. You've kind of moved that around, and how is that going away or staying, or exactly what's going on with those? Not exactly what's going on. What is just generally going on with those, Jim?
Yeah. Okay, so there's going to be the game changers were a big risk to try it the way I did. And it's where I pushed the limit too far as someone who called this one game, because each ability had a different game changer. And
Mm-hmm.
it was a lot to expect people to learn all three of them. And most
Mm-hmm.
people interacted with only one,
Mm-hmm.
and or occasionally two if one
Mm-hmm.
screwed you over a little bit. Like
Mm-hmm.
alertness can sneak up and grab you if you're just playing your character recklessly, which was meant to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but with the amount of conditions we have related to alertness and wanting to simplify the character sheets, those were easy to simplify. And we're just going to take game changers off of the character sheet, except that we're keeping momentum.
Momentum. Yeah.
Momentum is a really fun, easy to interact with way. And momentum is going to stick around as no longer just related to physical, but any of your stats you can wager and gain momentum, and that
Mm-hmm.
momentum is stored up. It'll help you with tiebreakers, and you can spend that on any stat that you roll with. So it's a much easier system. It's much more interactable for the player, or interactive for the player,
Mm-hmm.
and easy for me to say. Um, it'll
It's
it'll
not as
work
hard
better
as
no matter.
Los Demonios.
It's
Did I get it
so
that time?
hey, we need to
Demonios.
ring a bell when it's right. Give
I
me a
do.
bell
I
that I
mean,
can ring.
yeah, you're going to have to be in charge of it because I'll just be like ding, 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 ding. It's fine.
No, I'll ring the bell.
I'll set you up. Set you up.
Okay, yeah, set me up. So yeah, so yeah, that's just going away. So you're not going to have to worry about those unless you decide you want momentum in your game,
Yeah.
which is kind of a cheap way to get some to gamble or wager with your dice rolls to gain
Yeah,
additional
and
effects.
gambling's fun. So that's
Rest
a cool thing.
assured, if I'm GMing, we're playing with momentum.
Momentum. Yeah, that's fine. I also know, just because I'm working on the character sheet, that we're going to change the way conditions look on the character sheet, so they'll be all listed out with dots. I went ahead and put the Y in there. I keep on bouncing my thumbs off my laptop. But the conditions are changing. Not changing, just the way they're displayed on the character sheet.
Oh no, they're changing too. There's a lot of changes happening in conditions.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
I intentionally grew my list to as many conditions as I could think of on purpose. That's twice as many as we need. So it'll cut back to maybe a dozen instead of
Gotcha.
23.
Okay.
And
And
there might
those
be
will
less. If we can get it to fewer, we will.
and those will be, from my understanding, or at least a little bit we talked about the character sheet. Those will be listed on the character sheet with dots behind them, or check marks, check boxes.
Nearer to what they affect. Yes.
Yes, yes. So it'll be a little bit easier, so you won't have to memorize all the rules. Some of the rules will be kind of, well, not rules being character sheet, but it'll be their visual representation right there, right in front of you.
And that was one of my playtesters' ideas Saturday night.
It's a good idea.
Appreciate that, Lex.
Let's see what other questions do we got. What's staying in this round? I know the answer to
So,
this one, but go for it.
so we're going to keep our core abilities the
Mm-hmm.
same. They're just going to get renamed and reflavored,
Mm-hmm.
which was an intentional move. Early on. So since this is a modular game that we're building other systems out of, I kept a lot of the verbiage for the game pretty vanilla.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to attach it to Los Demonios, the city of demons, and we're going to create more of a narrative with your character sheet by using that verbiage that describes a gangster, describes this maybe not stereotypical, but what would be prototypical for this setting,
Mm-hmm.
more so than Bugsy Malone or something.
Yeah, yeah. And just so everybody knows, Los Demonios is a grittier setting, you know. So keep that in mind. I mean, this is an adult game. It's gangsters. It's gritty. It's dirty. It's fast. It's furious. Uh,
Can you say it like that?
what?
It's fast. Maybe, yeah. It's fury. Let's switch out. It's furious.
It's
It's
fast.
fast.
It's it's
It's all
yeah, it
these
is.
things and
It's all
more.
these things and more. Exactly. But
There's theft of grand proportions.
this, yes, there is that.
Everything from weapons to automobiles.
The and it gang related stuff, which is super fun to role play. Yeah. So, what else is staying? We're changing, of course. The core attributes are staying the same. What else will be familiar when I start digging into the revised version?
So the aptitudes are going to live on through a different way.
Hmm.
It's a much simpler system where the things that you specialize in, whether that be your attitude, your cunning, or your grit,
Hmm.
whichever ones you specialize in based on your character choices, if you're rolling in one of those stat blocks and you decide you don't like an outcome of a roll, you can simply spend a potential to guarantee a success with a narrative
Okay.
complication.
Okay. Okay.
So you're going to recognize that from aptitudes, something
Hmm.
you had to acquire before, you had to spend time
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Now, character choices simply make it happen.
Okay, that simplifies it quite a bit, and still retains. Well, it is a powerful mechanic on the outcome of some things. If you're doing something risky, that could be the difference between a good outcome or a bad outcome. Very
It's a
bad outcome.
way. It's a way for you as a player to say, "Hold on, GM, I do want this. This is the narrative we're going to play here, and I'm okay with throwing a complication out there in order to
Hmm.
get it.
Hmm.
I might have tried something that was a little beyond my reach,
Hmm.
but it's time for me to just throw this sort of trump card
Hmm.
and take the trick and run with it."
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, so Why? I put these in here. I thought that we've kind of discussed why. So we'll move on to the next question. Jim, how can we, as the public, get involved?
That thing that's going across the screen there, that's like just keeps scrolling by. Go to
So,
our Discord, and just you'll see me. I'm Jimmy St. James, and
mhm.
Mike is NPC Mike, and you can talk to us or Aaron or Jason or any of the other content creators here at Even Footing Games. Just come join us and say, hey, I want to get involved. It's as easy as that. If you wish to give feedback on the system, if you want to try to play the system, if you want to give thoughts about our our website, if you want to tell me I look like a clown, come tell me. You got on Discord though. Come down here.
Yes, yes, and I do weekdays. I'm on there all by myself on Twitch, wandering the wilderness of the backyard. If you'd like to join me, man, join our Discord and holler at me, man. I can get you involved in that. I'd be happy to have somebody to talk to while I'm video gaming during the day. It looks like Jason has showed up.
Oh boy.
He says, "Nerded up." Are we nerds? Are we nerds, Jim?
Geek chic. Oh, that sounds like that's the sound of our producer confirming. Indeed, we are we are
I
nerds.
is that coming from my house? Okay,
I it's it's one of our producers. We have several.
several. I think that's the 13-year-old one sitting over behind me in the bed. So, but yeah, definitely get involved in our Discord. Check us out online at evenfootinggames.com. What else we got to cover? Anything else you want to talk about with the
With the system itself,
yeah, yeah. Well, with
potential
the
system,
transfer, either the transfer or the system. I do apologize. I got a lot going on apparently all of a sudden. So
family circus.
yeah, I tell you what.
I don't know what
Well,
that's like.
there's seven of us and under one roof. So yeah, yeah. I tell them, listen, be cool. Be
Be
like,
cool.
be cool. Just give me an hour, and then I get like 30 minutes. But yeah,
It's not bad. That's a high level of respect.
it is. It's the only respect I get.
30
So
minutes of chill time.
yeah, once a week.
I would
But
say the only thing really left to talk about is how excited I am to get into beta for everybody to see the streamlined version. It's going to cut down on headaches. It's going to make character creation a breeze to get through. And it's going to retain a lot of the customization. So it's not as simple as other narrative games. That's the whole idea. This isn't another narrative game. This is a narrative game with a lot of customization. So it's going to take more than 5 minutes to make a character. But
yeah,
I'm going to get that time down, and I'm also going to get the system feeling a lot more sleek and a lot more customizable
yeah.
as well.
That's what I was going to say. It's not a narrative game, but it's not the same as a lot of what's already out there, and that's really exciting. And I'm excited to see all the revisions and get into playing, get into doing the more beta testing of it. I got some ideas for some characters, so I'm looking forward to it.
There's new classes too. Well, they're called roles now. So there are new roles that are pretty cool.
So I'm looking forward to seeing it. I've already asked him, folks. He said, no, when I get it done, you'll be able to see it. So
Yeah.
I just got to do what I got to do. So, okay, then. Let's see what else we got to do. Let's give a shout out at our friends at Abstract Adventures, guys. We got some friends out there. We'd like you to listen to their podcast as well. They have a D&D podcast, making everything up as they go. Every city, every encounter, even their current their cast of player characters have all been led up to the fate of the dice. Join them every for cozy storytelling, relentless puns, and unpredictable adventure. Jim, tell us a little bit about what podcasts going on at Even Footing Games.
What's going on at Even Footing Games?
Yes, our podcasts.
Our podcast. We have the first episode of Babies and Broadswords. All 26 episodes are out there. We also are in the middle of Avatar Legends, where we switched up. Jason was the GM of the first one, or the sitter, and Jack is the lore bender for what was Avatar Legends. Then they changed and are doing a different system called Cortex, which is a really neat system as well. We were attracted to it because it had some of the similar ideas to what we're messing around with, and they're wrapping that story up within the next few weeks. I think maybe you got 3 or 4 more sessions of it coming out, and then that's it. It's a good time to get in on that because it will be ending soon.
And coming up is going to be our fall stuff. The Crawl of Cthulhu, man.
Oh, Crawl of Cthulhu.
Yes. I'm looking forward to listening to that. That's going to be... the cast isn't 100% solidified yet, but boy, it's in the mix and in the works. And
I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'm excited to get back. I'm going to be there.
Man, I love Halloween. It's coming up in the fall time of year. I was out there today at the store, and they got the Halloween everything, and I'm getting pumped, and then I go outside, and I'm still sweating, and it's a pain in the butt.
92 degrees, 90% humidity.
Getting trudging across the parking lot. Oh my goodness, I can't wait till October. But that's coming up this fall with the... You know what? I'm going to go ahead and run our little thing again if I can find it. I am new to...
new guy.
StreamYard. That is hot, and that's exciting, I gotta say. But just check us out. Check us out on all the social media platforms. We got Facebook, we got Instagram, we got Twitter. I think we got a TikTok even. So give us a look, give us a follow, join our Discord, because that's where it's at. That's where the magic happens. I need a soundboard for uncomfortable silences, Jim. What else we got to talk about?
Well, my name is Jimmy with Even Footing Games, and I'm the mechanics engineer.
And I am Mike, NPC Mike with Even Footing Games, the new guy. Man, I'm all right. Yeah, I'm all right that this week, I promise.
We're so bad at going out, guys. We're so bad. We're so bad at this. Everybody at Even Footing Games is bad at it. We don't want to say goodbye.
I know, right? It's like, it's like, oh, we're going to say this, and then it's kind of like, okay, all right, yep. We'll be back next week, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Check us out next week. You can watch this if you haven't watched it already. If you've watched it already, watch it again at YouTube. We love you guys. See you later.